Alright, good morning everybody. Today we get to talk about proportionality and graphs. Okay, so we're going to be talking about graphs today. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and read the top so we get this out of the way. Use the information below to create a table and determine the constant of proportionality, or K. Alright, so we know that K is equal to our Y over our X. Okay, and the equation is Y is equal to Kx. Okay, now when we're talking about graph, okay, we're talking about a y-axis and an x-axis. Okay, so we've talked about this before, but hours and total miles. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. Now, we've said in the past that anytime we're talking about time, okay, that's going to be our x. Our total miles will be our y. Okay, so with this, hours is our x, so we're going to put hours down here. Okay, and our y was our total miles, so we need to make sure that we label our graphs. Okay, so this will be miles. Okay, so any numbers that are under the x, well, they'll be over here on the bottom. Okay, x is horizontal, y is vertical, up and down. Okay. Okay, so now we don't have anything in here. Okay, but it does tell us that a bike rider cycles, all right, rides 18 miles in 1 hour. So we need to put that 1 hour, he goes 18 miles, or she does. Okay, so if we know his rate, and his rate is 18 miles per 1 hour, well, we can do y over k, 18 divided by 1. Okay, now it doesn't say that he speeds up or slows down, so that's at a constant speed. Okay, so that'll be 18 over 1, so k should be 18. Okay, so this is what our equation looks like. We know the k now, so we just put the k in. Alright, so y is equal to 18x. Okay, now we can use this anytime that we're filling out a table and we're talking about time. Alright, we can just go ahead and fill it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, now with this, now you might be asking, well, how am I going to find out the total miles? Well, all I need to do is put it in to my equation. So I know 18, okay, times x, well, the first one is 1, so 18 times 1 is 18. Okay, 18 times the x value, well, 2 hours. 18 times 2 is 36. Okay, 18 times 3, I'm guessing it's 54. I could be wrong. I'll check. Yeah, it's 54. Okay. Then 18 times 4, 72. Okay. 18 times 5, 90. 18 times 6, 108. Okay. And 18 times 7 is 126. Okay. Now, something else we need to talk about. So now we have our table filled out. Okay. We're just going to put the hours in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So when we do our graph over here, our hours, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Now it says ordered pairs. Okay? Anytime we have an ordered pair, our X is first and then our Y. So we just do 1 and 18. And make sure when we write these that you separate them with a comma and you put parentheses around them. Okay? So X, which is 2, and my Y is 36. Okay? So 3, 54, that's the point. 4, 72. 5 and 90. 6 and 108.
That is in Miss Cobb's algebra classes need to report to her room at this time.
And 7 and 126. So your X value and then your Y value. So X and then Y. Okay. Now, if we know that our rate is constant and it goes up the same each time, all right, we can just use our Y values as long as they are spaced evenly. So these go up 18 every time. So we can say that first line is 18. So that means that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 spots or 18 little sections in there before you get to that big dark line. Okay, so 18, we're going to go up. The next line, we're going up 18 more. So it's 36, 54, 72, 90, 108, and 126. All right. Now, if you wanted to keep going, you can. Okay. Now, what we need to do is learn how to plot these. So 118, that's an ordered pair. So our X, we go to 1, because that's where our X is. And then we're going to go up, because Y is our 18. We're going to go up to 18. So 118 is that point right there. Okay? Then we're going to go to X value to 36. So we're going to go up to that 36 line. We're going to go 3, 54, so 3, and then up to 54, which is on that line. 4, so we're going to go with X, 4, and then up 72, which is going to be right here. Okay. 5, go to 5, and then up to 90. Now dots look like they're getting bigger every time. 6, go to 6, and then up to 108, and then 7 and 126. Okay, so we could keep going. If we wanted to make this table as large as we wanted to, we can. All right, but right now we're just filling in what it is. Now, I don't have a ruler here with me. All right, but get something, if you can, straight edge. All right, and draw a line through those. Okay, make sure you put that little arrow out there on the end, because it looks like it could keep going. Okay, now when we're graphing, all right, we can use graphs to help us determine if it's proportional or not. Okay, and we could go down through here and do our Y over X, okay, to make sure all these are 18. Okay, we can do that. Now, however, if we have a graph, there's only really two things we need to look at when we're looking at a graph. Okay, and the first one, is it a straight line? Okay, Now, there is another word that you use for straight line, and it's called linear. All right, Linear, linear. That just means it's a line, a straight line. Okay, so in this case, that's a yes. Okay, so the first thing, it needs to be a straight line. Okay. Does it go through the origin? Well, what's the origin? The origin is right here. Okay? That is your origin. Okay? And in an ordered pair, your origin is 0, 0. So if that question is yes, then the relationship between x and y, or y and x, is proportional. Okay? If it's a straight line and it goes through the corner of your graph right here, it's a straight line. All right? So, let's go down here. It says compare the two graphs below. Jot down your observations in the table below. All right? So guys, when we're going over this, most of you have this printed out. Okay? You need to be writing this down on your packet so you can have it for later. Okay? Don't just be listening to me and then you need to be writing this in your packet. Okay? If you don't have a packet, well, come up here to the school and get one. All right? Between 8 and 3, and I have them printed out. Okay? I can bring you one. All right? Now, the packet is also on Google Classroom, so if you can print it from home, you can do that. But I want you to be writing this stuff in while I'm going over it. Okay? So, let's look. So, it says proportional, and it has two graphs here. Well, characteristics. What makes these two proportional? Okay? Well, first, they are linear. All right? That means that they are straight lines. So they are linear, or they are a straight line. Okay? Second thing I notice, well, now I told you that it's at the corner. Well, when we have an actual coordinate plane, okay, this has got your y-axis and your x-axis, okay. When they're on a coordinate plane, your origin is where your x and your y intersect. So this main x-axis and this main y-axis right here. All right? And I told you that that ordered pair is 0, 0. So anytime on a coordinate plane, 0, 0, that's your origin. Okay? So I know that both of these lines do what? They pass through the origin. Okay? Pass through the origin. So, if I give you a graph and ask if it's proportional or not, well, if it's a straight line and it goes through that little origin, 0, 0 down here, it's proportional. All right, now let's go look at two non-proportional relationships. Okay, so these two graphs are not proportional. All right, so the first thing I notice, I'm going to look at this first one. And I'm always going to ask myself these two questions. Is it straight? Well, that's a straight line, right? But what does it not do? Right here's my origin. Does this line go through this little point right here? No. Okay? So the first graph has I'm trying to straight line, but does not go through the origin. And that's 0, 0. Okay? So I know that one's not, it's a straight line, but it doesn't go through the origin. Okay? So another thing that I noticed on this one, on the second one, alright, is that a straight line? No. Okay? Does it go through the origin? Right there's the origin. No. Okay? So the second graph is not a straight line. And it doesn't go through the origin. Okay? So, no straight line, and it doesn't go through the origin. Alright? So, it can be straight, but if it doesn't go through the origin, it's still not proportional. Okay? If this graph was moved down here, and it looked like this,
Just say good morning then.
okay, and if it still looks like this, now I didn't draw it very well, okay, but it goes through the origin, but is it straight? This one? No. Okay? It's got to be both. Okay? If it's both, then it's proportional. If it's not straight, okay, it's not proportional. All right? Okay. So for today, you're going to have 5 problems. Okay? And here, let's fill in the top. Proportional relationships are blank and pass through the blank. So proportional relationships are straight lines, all right, or linear. All right, linear is the better word here. And pass through what do they pass through? The origin. All right, and that's 0, 0. Make sure you're writing that down. All right, we need to know what that is. So, on one, well, for all of these, all right, you're going to have a short assignment today. Okay, so this is actually number 1. This is number 2. I know it says example 1, 2, and 3. This is number 3. So what I want you to do, I want you to graph those points. Okay? And remember, this is your X. This is your Y. Okay? X, Y. All right, it might be hard to see. If you have to, you can draw your own. But this is a positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? And these are negative. So that's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. All right? So negative numbers down here and negative numbers this way. All right? So I'm going to graph the first 2 points in each one of these. Okay? So remember, your ordered pair is your X first. Okay? So 1, I'm going to be on my X-axis here. I'm going to go over 1. Okay? And now my Y is 1, a positive 1. So I go over a positive 1 for my x and go up positive 1. So I'm right here. Okay? I'm right there. Alright, let's do the next one. I got a positive 2, so I'm going to go to x positive 2. Just like a number line, guys. Alright, this number line is horizontal. This one's vertical. So positive 2 puts me on this side. And I'm going to go up 3. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. Alright. Alright. And then you can finish the rest. Now I'm going to do these. Alright, I got negative 3. Well, I'm going to be on my x-axis. Okay, so I'm going to come to this side. I'm going to start right here at the origin. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Well, there's 3 right there. Negative 3. Now I want to do negative 6. Well, y is negative 6 is down this way. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So there is negative 3, negative 6 is down here. Okay? Now the next one, my x is negative y, or negative 1. So I'm going to go down negative 1, or I'm going to go over negative 1, sorry, because I want to be on my x-axis. Okay? I'm over negative 1, and now I want to go negative 2, so I'm going to go down 2. 1, 2. So that point is right there. Okay? So if I'm a negative y or negative x, I go this way. Okay, just like on a number line, I go to the left from the origin. Okay? If it's positive x, I go to